I'm Glenn McGinnis, and this is Outburst. On the program, do you believe new federal funding will improve our healthcare crisis?
I think it could go very well.
I'm not sure it's going to solve all the problems.
Healthcare will always eat up every dollar that you give to it.
We need to support the front line more.
But first, higher prices and no indication of them going back down has impacted everyone, especially those who are more financially vulnerable. Paying more means people who live in a lower income bracket will have to strive harder to maintain their quality of life as compared to those who live in higher income households. One solution to this that has been floated around in the past is a guaranteed basic income. It's a system where a government pays its citizens a sum of money on a regular basis, regardless of their employment status. Currently, Canada does not have a guaranteed basic income system in play, but many people feel it could replace some social assistance programs, while other people feel it's just too expensive and wouldn't be a viable option. So we took to the streets to see what you think. Our question: is a guaranteed basic income a better option than a network of social safety net programs?
I think better social safety net programs would be better, because when you have that guaranteed source of income, chances are that's just ending up in some company's pocket, whether it's revenue or going right to the CEO. Whereas if we have these basic social services, then there's a nice foundation that we can build off of.
I think it depends what's connected to the guaranteed basic income. I think there should be some sort of an expectation connected to that, like giving back to your community in some fashion.
Like volunteer work or, yeah.
I'm a former social worker, so I worked with a lot of people who I used to connect with community resources, and I believe in supporting people to a minimum income level, but full stop. And I also think it probably might be helpful to have some expectations come back, right? To learn some skills, to build confidence, a bit of a routine.
Because in small towns, they don't have a lot of programs. And even in a big city, it's hard to connect and find out names and where they are. That's why I say guaranteed income.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it probably is. I'm not familiar with all the research on that, but from what I've heard, I think it's probably a good idea to consider. I know it's expensive to support people through medical services and police services and correction services. So I think some kind of guaranteed supplement could be useful for that in terms of overall cost to society as well as services to those that need that.
I like the guaranteed basic income myself.
And I'm the opposite, like the programs.
And why?
It's worked in Europe, so I wouldn't be opposed to trying it.
Well, we need programs in Canada. That's my thoughts on it. So that's what I go with.
No, it's socialism. And socialism has proven it doesn't work. People have come to this country fleeing socialism. Just leave it at that.
I would say guaranteed basic income, because it gives you a mean to get up out of your bed in the morning and go work for what you want in your life.
I agree with that. It gives you a base. You can always build on it later.
Yeah. And you can always have a sense of accomplishment for yourself. And then that in turn would just make you feel better as a person and mentally better.
No, I don't believe so at all. Because I think what it actually does, it makes some people end up being not wanting to go back into the workforce, and actually starts to make them lazy. I mean, for lack of any other, and then they're relying on too much social assistance and not being productive in what they could be if they chased, perhaps a career that they were interested in. So I think it's lacking that way.
People need to be able to think critically. And when things are just constantly, more and more is given, and you're told, in a sense, even maybe not really out front, but quietly, over the years, people have it seems that people aren't thinking critically. And that robs them of a lot of maybe self-fulfillment and working and finding satisfaction and working and earning for themselves and being proud of doing a good day's work, that kind of an idea.
I think it's definitely an idea worth exploring. you know, with like limitations on who's receiving it income-wise, but it could, in my brief understanding, help with the social network. Yeah.
I would say it'd be really hard to implement, but I love the idea.
I like the idea of a basic, a guaranteed basic income, because it allows people to spend money, and it, raises the economy can get better, etc. That's my view. I'm not sure if it will be better than what we have now, but I think it certainly will improve some things. Yes?
I'm not quite in agreement. I think it's worthy of it's worthy to explore the option and compare it with all the different safety nets. It's I've always had a problem with everybody gets the same thing regardless, but I think it should be something that's explored, because I think there is a problem with a myriad of, let's call it safety nets, and then there's always somebody falling between the cracks. So I think it's worthy of consideration, but I'm not 100% on board.
I believe a basic guaranteed income would work. Yeah, I think so. I don't see why not, as long as it works out in most places. Like for us, we're from the Yukon, and so a basic guaranteed income would kind of be helpful for us. It's pretty brutal up there, It's a lot more north.
I lean left, so I can see how there is some attraction to that. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know there have been some experiments, especially in Quebec, attempting to approximate this. I'd like to see more on that before I could make a decision. You don't want to take people's ambition out of the equation.
The federal government and the provinces have been crunching the numbers, trying to come up with a common understanding about what it would take financially to bring our beleaguered healthcare system back from the brink. The 10-year, $46.2 billion plan by the Trudeau Liberals has been garnering some support from the provinces. But some will be quick to tell you that improving our healthcare system might take a little bit more than throwing money at the problem. But is it a start if we want to move things to the next level? Our question.
Do you believe new federal funding will improve our healthcare crisis?
I don't think so. I think in BC our healthcare crisis is due to how expensive it is to live here. So unless housing becomes more affordable, doctors aren't going to want to live here because they're not making high enough wages to afford to live.
I actually do, because I'm originally from Alberta, and Ralph Klein started this years ago. And you know what? I truly believe if it makes the line shorter for people that are in need of special assistance, whether it be knee, hip replacements and such, I actually believe it. I believe that it would be very beneficial.
Well, I think it'll improve a percentage of things. I don't know if it'll make 100% better, but any additional income that the federal government passes on to the provincial government for healthcare is good.
Well, if I look at history, it hasn't. Like I say, the government likes to throw money around and say they're doing this and that. I think a lot of times it ends up in the wrong people's pockets instead of the people that are doing the, working in the hospitals, the nurses and so forth. They're not seeing it.
I'm not sure it's going to solve all the problems, right? Because if you think of labor shortages, like if you don't have enough nurses, it doesn't matter how much money you throw at the problem. You need to have a national sort of educational program alongside that, and to sort of incentivize people, hey, come to this profession and be part of, be a nurse or a doctor or anything like that. So it's a big challenge, I would say, and it's not just in Canada, but it's something that we need to think about.
I think it will require a lot of funding. It's in bad shape. As a patient with multiple conditions, I have yet to see improvement, and I struggle to be hopeful.
only if it's implemented properly. So like you can dish out billions of dollars into anything, but unless you're actually willing to implement it properly, so for example, so whatever the amount is, take 65% of it and give it towards staff that's going to be hired. So this way you increase the pool, and then the rest of the percentage you create places specifically for the long-term surgeries that are waiting, or the short terms that can take 10 minutes. So like I know a guy who's been waiting 18 months for surgery, and he's on medication that he can't stand, and he said, I'm still on the wait list because my surgery is not dire, I have to wait. So in that regards, it could have been fixed easily.
I think so. I think it can't be worse for it, that's for sure. So yeah, I believe it will help.
I agree. That's something is better than nothing, and I don't believe it's in as much a crisis as certain people would have you believe. It's not the best, but I don't believe it's in the crisis that certain politicians would have us believe, but it certainly has to be improved.
Healthcare will always eat up every dollar that you give to it, but I do believe that we've underfunded our health service for a while, and you might be able to hear I'm from the UK. The NHS has been brutally underfunded for many years, and it's got to the point where it's on the brink of collapse, and I really don't want to see that happen here, so I'm happy to see the extra funding.
We need to support the front line more. I think middle management and upper management are really top heavy. For example, I worked in healthcare, and I think it was 11 years before I had a raise. So yeah, people burn out. That's why I quit. Burnt out. That's why she left.
Yeah.
I'm speaking for you.
Yeah.
Yes. I work in healthcare, and often we just need more money to do the things that we need to do, and a lot of it comes down to resourcing.
I think so. I mean, the province has been asking for quite a bit more, or they were provided a fair bit more. So the funding is part of the solution, I believe. Yeah. So too is good strategic, delivery from the provinces. It's not all about funding, but I think the funding that was offered is a useful step in the right direction.
I think it will vary by province. I'm from Nova Scotia, so there we also have a very major healthcare crisis. But I think should the provinces choose to invest that wisely and not try and undergo tactics that will try and undermine the public healthcare system, I think it could go very well. With Alberta, we'll see how that goes.
Not going to do any good, I don't think.
I'd like to see them increase the number of doctors here, definitely. Whether they use that funding for education, perhaps, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe it will, but it's not the solution. It's not the solution to a system that is, stretched beyond what's reasonable, right?
Which of the following positions is selected by secret ballot? Governor General, Deputy Prime Minister, Speaker of the House.
Deputy Prime. No, Speaker of the House. Deputy Prime Minister.
Deputy Prime Minister.
I have no idea.
Governor General.
Governor General. I have no idea.
I'll say Governor General.
I'll say the same thing. Is it?
I think it's the Speaker of the House.
I think it's Speaker of the House.
Deputy Prime Minister.
Speaker of the House.
Absolutely correct. Whew. Very good. You got it right, man.
That's the only question?
That's it.
Way, 100%.
Okay.
The Speaker of the House of Commons is elected by all other MPs by a secret ballot, either when a vacancy arises or after an election. Any MP may run for the position, except for a party leader or a cabinet minister. The Speaker interprets and applies the rules and traditions of the House of Commons and ensures the orderly conduct of its daily business. Even though the role is occupied by a member of Parliament, the Speaker must still be fair and impartial, enforcing the same rules for the Prime Minister as for any member of the opposition.
Although it's likely a snap federal election will not be called any time in the immediate future, federal party leaders have still been posturing since the beginning of the year, which could indicate things will give way. especially that alliance between the Liberals and NDP. We haven't seen an election in a year and a half, but in that time, we've seen the trucker protests and now allegations of foreign interference in our electoral process. So, is it time for Canadians to head back to the ballot box once again? Our question.
Would you like to see a federal election happen this year?
I think federal elections are a bit disruptive, and I think right now in this province they're getting into a really good track of moving forward on policies that are important here. So I'm not sure how that would impact our own programs here, but who knows?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Tomorrow would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Why is that?
Well, I think that the last time with that election that happened during the pandemic, I think that shouldn't have been. So I think now it's time to make a real election.
Yeah, I think we need a new prime minister. What we have is not that great.
Oh, God knows. No. We had too many in the recent years. I think, no, I'm okay, actually perfectly fine the way it is at the moment. I don't want to see any election, and I think all that money spent on an election, you can use it otherwise. Definitely. No election, please, no.
I would not like it, again, because I think that we already have very short terms for our governments of 3 to 4 years. And by the time people get in their seats and get action going and get the project moving on, 3 to 4 years is very short. I've worked in a private business, and I already know that an action plan is really long to set in place, but not just setting it in place, but running it so that it reaches top performance.
I'm not racing to find an election platform for this year. I think we've had enough, especially here in Ottawa with our local election, that I think there's more evidence of people needing to learn more about what is municipally covered through elections, what's federally covered and provincially covered.
Well, yes, I would. Because I love politics. All sides of it. a healthy debate back and forth. I'd love to see that.
Well, depends how people are doing, and change is always good, you know, as long as everything keeps moving forward in a positive way.
Yeah, I believe that it would be beneficial to all Canadians. I mean, it's always everybody's mindset's changing every couple years. Everybody kind of switches up what they believe, and I think in Canada it's a changing evolution up here. You know, their minds change every year. So I think a federal election would be beneficial to territorial people and provincial people.
No, it's too early, and I really like a lot of things that Trudeau has done with daycare and dental care for young people. I can recall when I was 10 years old before the first time I saw a dentist, and I needed one. And you know, it should be part of our package, our social package.
To be honest, between you and me and the camera, I don't care. Like I do, but I don't. Right now, I'm worried too much more about my individual lifestyle and trying to keep things on track, and I haven't really thought too much the big picture around that.
I do think there should be another election. There should always be a chance to, vote whether we move forward with a party, whoever it may be, but there should always be a chance to rebuttal and try again if there's disagreement amongst the citizens.
I don't know, does Canada really need one? Do you think election is no, but do you think election is going to change what's happening right now? Because it's just, I don't know. Most parties do the same stuff anyways, right? It's fake promises, then go back to the same routine. So it doesn't really matter who to get in or not. But with that being said, we always have conservative or liberals, as far as I can remember going in. So why not give the NDP a chance?
I don't want to see the election process. I would like to see some change in leadership, but that's what it takes. It takes an election. So I guess if I was confident that there would be some changes made, then yes, I would vote for having that.
I don't know that it would change anything, so I think it would probably be a waste of time.
Yes, yeah, I definitely would.
I would I don't know, it's got to be a change in something because can't keep going like the way that we're going right now.
I mean, if changes are made, yes. But if things continue to go the same way, I mean, I don't know. It's hard. I don't know. I've kind of almost like, I want to say, I don't want to say I've given up, but in the same sense, I have no hope right now because nothing's really changed in the last little while. Just, there's a lot of talk, but no action. So we need action.
Too bad we can't kick them all out, start over again. But I don't know. I like Jagmeet Singh. I hope that he can do something. You know, like I think he already is, but he's inflecting some good things. But I don't know if it's going to really change that much. You know, they have their agendas. You know, and they speak to speak.
No, I wouldn't. I feel like in several years of instability, I don't feel like an election is the best decision. I would prefer to have a little bit more stability in our government, just keep it the same for a while, and then hopefully things start to turn up, and then it'll be a good time.
In the 3 years since this pandemic was declared, many people had to adjust their lives and make the necessary changes in order to get us through difficult times. But many people know our obstacles don't stop with the pandemic. Moving forward, issues like the economy, healthcare, or even the crisis in Ukraine, just to name a few, continue to test our resolve. So we took to the streets to ask people what they think are the most difficult hurdles we're up against these days. Our question:
what is the biggest challenge facing Canadians in 2023?
Housing market. A lot of people nowadays are having trouble finding a place, and when they do find a place, meeting qualifications to move into those places.
Definitely inflation and rising interest rates. I think there's a number of people that are over-leveraged on housing. I think that they're using lines of credit or have in the past, and there's going to be problems with some of that spilling over now that the interest rates continue to rise and inflation continues to rise.
The inflation is pretty wicked. I have to pay like $16 for food that I used to spend like $9 on like not even 6 months ago, which is like a huge difference. It's almost double of what it was for no reason.
Maybe the economy, they should, yeah, that's the biggest challenge for me. The economy should be up.
All the isolation that we had to do, like so many people are facing mental health, problems with mental health, depression, anxiety. Kids weren't allowed to be in sports teams. Like, it's affected everyone huge.
I think just stability. In 2023, I think a lot of people are unsure of jobs, where their money's coming from. I don't know that that's any different from previous years, but it could just be a bit inflated this year, just pandemic, war, everything.
I think in the medical system, because there is no doctor's office. A lot of walk-in clinics are closing down and they're not accepting new patients and this and that. So what are people going to do? Just drop dead if they can see a doctor?
The other thing is still climate change. It's that's another major thing. We have a beautiful country and we have to do something. There are many issues. Healthcare. Oh my God! Don't start with healthcare. I don't think it's appropriate that you go and you wait in an ER for 8 hours, 10 hours in some provinces. Is that really the key to go? No, of course not. There are many issues.
Climate change. And what can we do about it? There's certain things that have to be rethought about, like city planning, making houses with air conditioners and better winter planning. If you're gonna get heat domes and the cold spells like we've had in the past, it's going to take some readjusting.
I think our economy is extremely important. We stay focused on that one. And our health system again, because I think I've seen across Canada a big issue since the pandemic. We're losing it in terms of mastering our health system.
One of the biggest challenges facing Canadians in 2023, I think, is reconciling how to move forward through COVID and through our healthcare systems and how people are managing that right now. And having barriers removed so that equity between everyone can be achieved to access services.
Problem with money, paying rent, paying mortgages, getting new mortgages. It's all about money because everybody spends money differently, has different needs. And right now money is tight for a lot of people. It's nice that there's more jobs out there, but $15 an hour doesn't really do it.
Trust. I believe that in 2023, moving forward, the biggest issue that we Canadians have is trusting each other in every aspect. Honestly, like, for example, I was listening to my music before I walked by you, and rather than just ignore you and be cold-hearted, I'm old-fashioned, and I was raised, if somebody's going to speak to you, just take a moment. So I took my headphones off to speak to you.
Well, I think the biggest challenge for Canadians in 2023 is the rising cost of food prices. I'm very concerned about that. I'm a single mom of 3 girls. So, you know, when lettuce reaches $7, I start to go, maybe it's time for more pasta, but hopefully it won't get that much higher.
Global warming.
Yeah, I'd like
Climate
the canal
change.
to be open.
We came for the canal and it's not open. So.
Thanks for watching this episode of Outburst on CPAC. If you have any comments about this show or any other show, you can find us on social media. You can also find us on our website at www.cpac.ca. I'm Glenn McGuinness, and on behalf of my colleagues at the Cable Public Affairs Channel, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.